Hi everybody, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm working on a bunch of bodices. I decided today I'm just going to cut out a bunch of bodices this morning and then see how fast it takes me to make them. I need one out of this gray to go with the gray skirt I made. This is going to be similar to Butterick pattern 6195. So I'm using this bodice. I haven't decided if on this one if I'm going to use a Bertha or sleeves and a ruffle or just a Bertha. My hair looks disastrous today. So here we go. Oh, and I am going to cut the lining out of the exact same fabric. It just, I think, makes it easier. So then I have 4 layers here, so I'll cut 4 at the same time in doing it. And I think their center front does not have it on a, has a seam down the front, but I don't want a seam down the front, so I'm going to put the center front on the fold. So this says I should cut out size 14. Okay. Here, oh, 14, size 14. So that's this. I don't cut my paper down to the sizes. I just stick my scissors underneath it and cut the size that I want. And I cut the pieces out, and then like on the lines that I'm not adjusting, I can go ahead and cut out. And then when I get to lines that are different depending on what size you're doing, and I don't cut out my notches. I will mark them with my tailor's chalk here in a second. Now this pattern calls to have it added to the skirt, but mine's going to be separate bodices because if you saw the skirt video, I'm doing one skirt per actress, And then I'm just doing multiple tops. Some tops are from previous years costumes that I made that I'm reusing, and some tops are ones that I purchased at the thrift store. So here's where I'm just going to sneak in and just follow that size 14 line. Okay, so for this is the bodice back, and it just has one notch. So I just lift up the pattern and just make one line where that notch is with my tailor's chalk. Can't decide if I like tailor's chalk or not. It falls apart really easily. You know, you can't set it down too hard or it breaks in half, but it marks the best on fabric. So, for me, at least. I haven't tried some of these markers that some people have used. I've tried the pencils and that kind of stuff. I used to have little chalk things that I could, the only things I need to make sure I mark, because the back I know it'll be the back, the front I know it'll be the front because it's on a fold, but the back and the front side pieces I need to make sure I mark those two since I'm taking them away from the pattern. So there's the back piece. So here's the front, and it has markings. I don't need to worry about the bottom markings because I'm not attaching it to the skirt. So there's just a triple mark right here at where the side comes together. So I'll just put 3 lines there. I'll go in between. And I'm marking all on the same this. There's a weird fold in the fabric there. Okay, so I don't have to worry about, what would that upper seam be for? So I'm going to worry about the side seam. The front curve. And because this has the 3 notches for the front, I don't think I'll need to have to match that. I'm just trying to figure out what this seam notch is for and if I want it. Can't remember. I made this. So I also didn't interface the one I did for my daughter, because this is the pattern I used for hers. So I don't know that I'll interface this one either, just because I'm not too sure I'm too worried about that. Other than this is a very thin fabric. There's part of me that wonders if I should not cut it with interfacing. I'll think about that. Okay, so this one's cut out. So here's the sleeve. Size 14. So I'm just going to do a rough cut around. So, because and a lot of times I do when I go shopping for fabric, I don't just go to the fabric store. I go to other stores when they have sales on curtains and on bedspreads and sheets and stuff, because it's amazing, especially if you can get good quality sheets, how nice that can look. And this sleeve is probably not that important that I cut the right size, because this is a very big sleeve. At least up here on the top where it's just going to be with an elastic or a I think I'm just going to put an elastic in it to make my life easy. It has some notches up, but not sure why. You have to look at how they actually attach these sleeves. Other than it's 2 for front, 1 for back. That is always helpful. 2 notches for front, 1 for back, or one for front, two for back. That is another reason to mark your notches on sleeves. This one doesn't seem to be that odd looking, but okay. So that's for the gray bodice. Okay, so here's bodice front, bodice side, front, as I said, when you're sewing curves, you want to put a lot of pins in to help you hold all that ease that's going to happen as you're sewing it. one. Okay, so when I pick up the bodice back, I put it beside the top. From this one, the side needs to go underneath. That way the inside's the same on both. So as you see, I'll start to sew, and I won't take the thread all the way off. This way I can just put the next piece in and start to sew. Make sure backstitch, and then I like to hold all this in my hand so I can feel what's going on under here, and I can watch for puckering. Just be careful not to stab yourself with your pins. Then I feel like I can control where it needs to go better. And I can control the easing. And if you look, I'll push the fabric towards the curve. So here's the bodice front, and then the bodice back. Right sides together. And we'll pin here. And so the side seams together right there and right here. And we'll be right back. Okay, so I clipped the insides of it, pressed it, and now we're going to pin the right sides together. I like to mark with the center front first, so I get that V nice and good. Right sides together. Wrong side and right side together. I think you can see what I'm pinning. So I pinned the centers together. Now I'm continuing pinning the sides together. Now in this pattern, it didn't say to sew the underarms closed, but I think I'm going to go ahead and do it just because that's the look I like, because I think the way you put the sleeves on, and you want that done. So I'm going to go ahead and pin the armholes together. I'm going to sew all along that top edge. All along, and then I'm going to clip them and press them, and then I'll show it to you. So here it is, completely lined and done. The front, the side and the back. This is the arm holes. And now I'm just going to pin the side seams together on the sleeves and sew them closed. Actually, I think I'm going to search all around the sleeve, then sew the sides together, and then put a casing around the top for elastic. I'll be right back. Okay, so I have the gray bodice here. I put it on the girl, and it's about 2.5 inches too big up here, and about this maybe an inch here. So I'm going to take and adjust this seam right here on both sides. I put the seams in for the wire ties in there for that little bit of boning strength, and one in the center. So I'm going to put up those side seams, iron it, and then I'll turn it right side out and put the bottom on. So this is a bodice and an overskirt. You've seen this gray skirt with blue ruffle before, but here's the ball gown bodice and the overskirt. I'll show you the back in a minute. Sorry about the purple tank top. That's what holds the stuffing in. So there's the top. Wasn't crazy about this skirt, but it's kind of growing on me. So with the top, I just did fork pleats all around. It is sewn on, that's just holding it up. This bodice does not go on my mannequin very well, which is interesting because it goes on the girl very well. And then, whoa, moved it. Here's the back of the bodice with this kind of bustle. I didn't think I would like this bustle. Still don't know if I like it. It's a little bit interesting to make, but I do like it with all the stripes and how fun it makes it and different. This is the dress ensemble for Millie. We took liberties and we are making Millie be a female in Calamity Jane. So this is one of the skirts that I made in making for 4 skirts in a day. And I added the ruffles to the bottom. And then this jacket, I'll get closer up for you, is actually a jacket we used for Cinderella, but in Cinderella, it came closed all the way. It was a closed jacket. So I took in some alterations here. Let's see, let's get you here on the side seam where I took an inch out here and an inch out on the same side over here. So I took an inch out here, and then I took in, I made a seam right here for an inch and here for an inch. This one's not close enough to the outside, but you know. that'll take it in enough that I think it gives it the look that I want. And that's her first look. I did alter the shirt a little. I haven't decided what to do here. When it was on her, I think these came closer. If not, if I have time, I might continue the pin tucking or get someone else who might be able to just follow that pin tucking all the way down more. Second look for this skirt, and I just took a shirt I got from the thrift store, which already had this ruffle on it. Cute ruffle, very much time period, and added the dark ruffle onto it to make it so it looked like it matched with the skirt.